I love that Aramaic translation of the Lord's Prayer. It has some really powerful and thought provoking lines in it. One of my favorites is create your reign of unity now through our fiery hearts and our willing hands. And that is another way of saying on earth as in heaven. On earth as in heaven. That is our ultimate goal. So the title to this reflection is called VIMBAS and Soul Scribing. VIMBAS is an acronym used by Resmaa Menakem. I was introduced to it in his newly published book, The Quaking of America. Soul Scribing is a spiritual practice. And then there are the anchors, which are also central to this series. The anchors are found in 2, possibly more, of Resmaa Menakem's books, and they're also on a lot of his YouTube videos if you just Google his name. But the 2 books that Kathy and I are using for this particular series are My Grandmother's Hands and The Quaking of America. So today we're looking at the second anchor. That's where we're going to start, the anchor of pausing, naming and noticing. And then we're moving on to VIMBAS and soul scribing. So the second anchor, as I've already mentioned, is the anchor of pausing and noticing. And what we pause to notice are the vibrations, the sensations, and the emotions which are constantly moving through our bodies. And here's the thing. They move through all our bodies, regardless of whether or not we notice. So the second anchor is a reminder that it's important to notice. It's important to notice the vibrations, the sensations, the emotions that are always moving through our bodies because they are telling us something. And you know what else? The fact that we have this ability to notice, or not notice, but the ability to notice what is subtle and ongoing and not always obvious is one of the many reasons that we boldly proclaim that we are wonderfully and fearfully made. And that reference to fearfully isn't like we're scary. It's a reference to awesome. We are wonderfully, we are awesomely created. So in The Quaking of America, Menakem elaborates on these amazing, awe-inspiring, wonderful, fearful ways. And he begins by pointing out what I've heard many people say recently. At this particular moment in history, we are being bombarded by all kinds of messaging, most of which makes absolutely no sense. All kinds of messaging. It is loud, it is constant, it is confusing, and it is disruptive. And it's coming at us from all directions. And according to Menakem, the reason that most of it just makes absolutely no sense is because it wasn't designed to make any sense. It's not aimed at our brains, it's aimed at our bodies. The messaging we are hearing today is aimed at our bodies, not our brains. Menakem goes on to point out all of the wonderful, awesome, fearful ways that we are made. And he begins with the reminder that we all have a brain and we all have a cerebral cortex. And the cerebral cortex is a thin membrane which stretches across our heads. And its primary function is to make sense of our lived experience. The cerebral cortex The brain plays an important role in our lives. It is a form of intelligence. However, it is not our only form of intelligence. According to Dominicum, each one of us actually have 6 different types of intelligence, which flows throughout all of our bodies and, of course, our heads. It is these intelligences which are being bombarded by the messaging of today. If one listens carefully to the messaging, regardless of the source, one will notice that there is one common theme. And the theme is, you're not safe. We are not safe. They are coming to get us. We are under